Alright, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And we're trying to go live on Instagram as well. There we go. Alhamdulillah, we're on. And we are live on Instagram as well. Barakallahu feekum. Let's see if I can actually get another Instagram, because I would like to obviously go through the video today, inshallah, and hopefully we can. Yes, we can. So as I said, today is going to be a combination. We're going to take your questions as well with the live Q&A and anonymous Q&A. Basically what you do is you go to my Instagram and you'll go to story. And in story, you'll be able to actually post. I usually post the link every week, twice a week. So you'll actually be able to post your anonymous questions. These are questions that no one knows who it is that's sending it, just to make it a bit easy for you to, feel comfortable in asking these questions. Not many places where you can go and ask certain questions that are sometimes taboo and not many people are willing to answer from an Islamic perspective. And it's difficult, you know what I mean, right? So inshallah, we are going to do that as well. So today we're going to react to the video that we posted on Nikkahgram, and I am part of Nikkahgram. I am a partner in it and a representative for it. And inshallah, we are going to take your questions with the it kind of triggered a lot of sisters. So we're going live on Instagram as well as Facebook and as well as YouTube. And it kind of triggered a lot of sisters in this issue of why these videos. Before we go into that, inshallah, yes, I'm going to put the links to the story right now for the live Q&A. So please go to the Instagram story. I'm actually going to put it right now as we are speaking, as we're waiting for. We started a few minutes earlier so we can get everyone on board, inshallah. So if you go right now to my Instagram, in a minute, you can actually submit your anonymous question and comments. So there it is. It is shared. Bismillah. All right. So the other thing is, please, I remind my brothers and sisters to support our dawah. You can go to patreon.com. Okay, patreon.com. Okay, and you can become a Patreon. Very simple. And you could also comment if you're on YouTube. You can do one of the super chats. We'll see your questions faster in your comments, and I can highlight it, and it'll be right there for everyone to see. If you do not want me to highlight your comment on the screen, please say in your comment that I'll see that. Keep it private, so then I don't mention your name and I don't mention who you are, and I won't post it on the, as you can see right now on the screen, for example. We'll highlight those comments, right? So if you go, for example, fast and pray tahajjud, someone says that, so I just highlighted their comment. It will appear like that. Indeed, fast and pray tahajjud, all of us should. May Allah help us. Okay, wa alaikum salam. So I'll highlight your comment like that. All right, so we've hit 12 o'clock. It is midday. It is midday here where I am. Again, if you go to the Instagram, you'll see right there the actual link. Okay, this is the link, and you will see again the link for the anonymous questions. All right, here we go. There it is, right? So I'll actually open that and start reading some of the comments, plus the comments that you're putting. طيب. But let us start with, inshallah, a few comments from the people who are participating live right now, and then we'll get into the video. All right, we'll get into a video, the video review, which is the one that we sent on Nikkahgram. What was it about? It's about women and what they do today in today's world and how they throw away certain things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. It has caused a bit of a controversy. We've had, if I go right now to that video, we have 54,000 views and we have about 330 comments right now. 330 comments. A lot of the sisters were triggered. Now, when I analyzed who was triggered, sadly, I found that most of them were non-hijabis, she, her, they, them. Sadly, some of them. And I'm not trying to like judge here or anything like that. I just want to explain why women would be triggered and what was said in that video. And was there anything wrong about it? And was it something to really, there was some harsh comments, right? That these boys, these men, they think they can do this. What is a woman only to chase a man? Many things, misogyny at its best, and I'm unfollowing and so on. So it's interesting to understand the mentality and why a trigger can make someone behave in a certain way. And how do we react to information that's being given to us, especially when there's evidence behind it. So that's what we're going to do, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. All right, so let's go to, before everyone joins, barakallahu fikum, Dr. Asif is on. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm going to see Dr. Asif, inshallah, in about 2 weeks. Look, I'm very, very excited for that. Really looking forward to it, inshallah. We're going to be meeting in Turkey for a great conference, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And hopefully you guys can join us to some of the future ones, inshallah. So I will pick up some questions, inshallah, from the post. Then we'll go into the video reaction as people are gathering, and this is gonna be posted anyway. And then we'll take some of your questions, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So, random handsome man, mashallah, Allah barik, says, brother, I'm unable to get married for financial reasons. I struggle with porn, masturbation. I tried 101 methods and found no way. Do you have practical methods to stop it? Look, again, brothers and sisters, understand that these are real issues we're dealing with. People can be like, oh, brother, fear Allah. Of course, the first thing, number one, we should always remember, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Fear Allah as much as you can. It's the first advice any alim, anyone would give you, any lay person like myself, anyone would give you. The first advice is fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, but it's easier said than done. Why? What's the difference when it comes to marriage, porn addiction, and these issues? The first thing you have to understand that pornography, sexual issues are not like alcohol or drugs or other addictions. It is linked to your most innate desire as a man or a woman to achieve this connection. This is not like, you're not gonna like go crazy if you don't drink alcohol. You can drink water or juice or chai. Okay, chai karak. You're not gonna go crazy if you don't snort cocaine or smoke weed, right? You can just, I don't know, eat a chocolate or something or eat food. It's not gonna like, you're not gonna go crazy without it, right? But without intimacy, without marriage, without connection, it's going to affect you on such a level that it can actually cause mental instability in you. It can actually affect you on a level of mental health. For both men and women, there's hormonal changes that take place in your body at a certain age if you're not getting intimacy. Your body is not functioning the way it should be. Your testosterone level as a man can be affected if you don't get intimacy. As a woman, your recalibration after your period, Allah has designed you that in your ovulating stage, in your cycle, your 28-day cycle, there's specific phenomena that are taking place in your body. This is, wallahi, as Allah says, وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. The signs are in yourselves. And these are miracles that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates in the body of a man and a woman. And He has given us the hal, the solution. Yet we are عدون لأنفسنا, like we are enemies to ourselves in disobeying Allah. And I'm not talking only about like the pornography. We disobey Allah because we don't listen to the advice. We don't listen to the option that he has given us. We delay marriage. We cause problems to ourselves. And it's not just, look, the brother's saying financial issues. You say, so how do you solve that problem, brother? I've spoke about it many, many times. And I'll get to it in a second. But bottom line is, your DNA, your physiology, your fitra, your psychology, the way your brain is wired, everything is showing the need for that deep connection. And indeed, it is an intimate connection. And without it, people start changing. People start not only in their cognition and their hormones, but also in their behavior. And now they start doing other things. Yes, I wish we live in a world where we just follow 8 steps, 10 steps, AA approach, and get rid of this addiction. Because it is, and again I repeat, it is linked to the most innate desire of a person to be intimate, that is needed. It's part of who you are as a man and as a woman. Imagine a fish not being a fish. Imagine a lion not being a lion. Imagine, all these phenomenons in the world not being able to express themselves and fulfill what they're meant to fulfill. This is what the crisis that men and women are faced with today. Yet Islam has given us the solutions, but we hate those solutions sometimes. Then you got the dawah mafia who steals these solutions and twists them and tells people, no, it's not like that. There's another opinion and this and that. And people get confused. People delay their marriage, and then they fall into deeper problems. And then we wonder, when we look at statistics, well, how come more than 50% of brothers and sisters, they divorce within the first 3 years of marriage? Statistics show that within the first 3 years of marriage, people divorce. Why? Why such a big number? Well, what do you expect when you reach your 30s and all of a sudden they say, oh, here's a brother and a sister. Let's get them married. Okay, you get them married. Brother's 32, sister's 28, 30. They spent all these years just with themselves. The neural pathways that were activated by their thought process, by their actions, by their surroundings were specific, and they were reinforced every single day, be it through masturbation, pornography, be it to what they watch, what they deal with, their friends, their surroundings, their whatever, their lack of or too much of. And now they're put together, and you're telling me, we'll make it work out. Here, let's take you to the hotel and make, this thing happen. Within a few months, the mother gets notified that, no, your daughter is this. The father gets contacted, no, your son has got erectile dysfunction. He couldn't do anything on the first night. This and that, problems, issues. And people are like, we don't know why. Why? Because you've spent so much time with yourself and got used to yourself and the way you like to do things and the way you live, everything from the way you sleep to the way you eat to the way whatever. And you've not had time to adjust yourself in those formative stages, the younger stages, when you're supposed to, when you're the strongest, you're easier to mold. Now where you're more solid and more firm, right? The plasticity is not so malleable. Now you're saying, why aren't things working? Why aren't things, moving forward? Because you've delayed everything. Sisters will be like, oh, my husband, they blame the man. No, my husband is this and that. And I'm a counselor. People say, well, this is the argument from experience. Well, duh. I'm sure that if you go to a doctor, what are you going to do? He's going to give you a diagnosis and some evidence to be like, oh, this is the argument from experience. This is a fallacy. Yeah, of course, we have experience. We've been working in this. What do you think? We make nikkah and all these things just like that? That we make these videos just because from our heads or because we want to cause fitna? We have experience. When a brother who's a doctor, when a brother who's a professional, when a brother who has experience and he has to show for it, and he brings something to the patient and says, look, guys, look at the statistics. Look at the reality. Look at the cases. You cannot say that, oh, this is you're just making things up. No, you have to have some understanding that this person is and he has experience. They are to be trusted. They are to be listened to. Right? So when we're talking about in this video that, hey sisters, don't kick away your value because the world is asking you to be like a man. With all due respect to all the sisters, we men don't care so much about your degrees. Honestly, wallahi. Just now I finished a counseling session. 2 doctors, brother and sister. I cannot disclose obviously their identities, but husband and wife. Yani, the guy doesn't care that his wife's a doctor. Okay? He cares about her respect. He cares about her beauty, about her deen, of course, and about her loyalty. That's where the value of a woman is. Women be like, oh, that's it? Well, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. You have to understand. Okay? The value of a man is in the work that he does. He has his degree. He goes out there. Remember the statement. A man is going to compromise to an extent his innocence. That's how men are. It's always been like that. I mean, look at the Sahaba, where they're coming from, their background. Just people need to study a bit of seerah. But that's what made them so smart and who they were and so effective. Because they were not like people think they're innocent. You know, they think Abu Bakr was like a miskeen, you know. Omar Khattab was a miskeen. The Sahabas were just miskeen. It was just, Assalamu alaikum, brother. No. They were strong. They were rough. Yes, they had their soft spot as well, but they were able to shift between that depending on the situation. But a man, he forfeits his innocence for experience. And that experience is valuable. No, any woman I spoke to, any woman says, I want a man who knows what he's doing. I don't really care about his past too much. I care about his present and his future. I know some women will disagree with that, but honestly, it's a very small minority. And they always disagree just because they want to like take revenge on the man to say that, no, we have also this. Because men care so much about a woman's past. So now women want to say, no, we care about a man's past too. I've tested this. I've tested this in front of 200 women. I've tested this in surveys. I've tested this. We looked at the statistics. We looked at the studies and the research in social psychology. In general, women, they care about that experience. So a man will give that innocence because no, imagine a guy walks in the room and he's like, like that, you know, brother, what do you do? Well, you know, he's so shy and so cute, and the woman is gonna look at him like, what's wrong with this bruv? What's wrong with this guy? Is he okay? Is he all right? I'm asking you a question. You can't even answer a question, right? No, they want them the zalamat, the man, to be like, hey, this is what I do. Yeah, you don't have to be arrogant. You don't have to be I don't know what, but confidence, consistency. You know, he's assertive. He knows what he wants. She feels, wow, this guy, man. Okay, reverse that. Walk into a room, marriage meeting, and the sister's like, yo, man, what's up, bruv? Yeah, I know, I'm going to be this. I'm going to, you know, I box every day, and they look at my muscles, and you know what I'm saying? Like, the guy's going to be like, what the heck, man? No, the woman should be shy and soft, and this is where her value is, in her haya, in her innocence. So a man trades his innocence for experience. Now, I'm not saying do haram, this and that, and okay, take it as a license now to do whatever. No. That's not what it is. Just naturally, life is going to make a man move out, go out. He doesn't have the same restrictions as a woman. He's going to have to go through the fire, man, of this world. Because he will develop experience to protect those who he loves and he cares for. That's why the man is the wali. That's why the man is the one who's going to vet, and he's the filter. Because the mother can be like, oh yeah, this guy's very cute, he's very handsome, the husband's like, I see this through that BS, bro, every day. Don't try to play with me, bro. I know exactly. I'm a man. I know what my daughter needs. I can see through you, boy. I can see exactly what you're trying to do and twist the mind of my daughter or my wife. No, because I'm the man. I'm the wali. I'm the responsible one. So men, because they have the experience, they know how man thinks. We know how dirty a man's mind can get. It's just the truth, man. You want to say this or that, or, oh my brothers, you guys are so sexual. Yahi, we know exactly how men are because we are men. But that experience gives us the ability to protect our daughters and our women folk, and those who are more gullible than us, and those who are in us. Why do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Surah An-Nisa? What did the Mufassirin say? It is to protect the two weak ones, women and children, women and orphans. Look at the Mufassirin when they talk about Surah An-Nisa, the rulings and the ahkam that are in it. Men were the ones that were made to be Khalifa. In 1444 years of Islam, there's been not one woman Khalifa. Do you wonder why? In 1444 years, or let's say, especially at the time of Prophet ﷺ, there was never been a unit, a special unit that was made by the Prophet, and maybe later on some deviants. Let me make that clear, that disclaimer. Maybe it happened later on in history. I think I heard of something. But bottom line, the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba, they never met a special military unit for women because Nusayba and this and that defended the Prophet ﷺ, and they fought valiantly, and they had a sword in their hand and 2-3 women that everyone picks on all the time. And the Prophet ﷺ would have been like, oh yeah, let's bring a unit of military for women because they're so effective. MashaAllah, she defended me and saved my life. No. Women have their position. So men give up their innocence for experience to protect the women they love, the family, and women have to give up experience for maintaining and protecting their innocence, because that's where their value is, in their innocence. That's why we made this video. That's why we're saying what we're saying. We're not this or that. You want to call misogyny? Then you're faced with maybe saying that the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba, the danger. I'm not saying that you're saying it, but I'm just saying the danger of saying that they are misogynist. Okay, that they are misogynist. And that you've been selective in the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ to look at for some istithna, some exceptions to make it as the rule. And this is the cancer of feminism that has brainwashed our sisters and destroyed them. Yesterday I posted a story when the women were criticizing, oh, what do you mean women cannot educate themselves? Who said that women cannot be educated? Who told you that? We were talking about the schooling, the system that they're in, where they get destroyed, where they have to go to uni, where they have to be in a student lodging, where they get pregnant. You saw that sister, 5 months pregnant, 19-year-old. Where's her little hubby? He bailed. He took off. The hubby took off. He bailed. And his family blocked her. And now she is alone at the university. Her family trusted her. You can say, you're blaming women. Do you know how many of these cases happen? Ya Allah. You think we're talking about exceptions? We don't talk about exceptions. When we talk about these things, we look at patterns and trends. Professionals who work in this field, they look at patterns and trends. Based on that, we start talking about things. We start highlighting things. We start pointing things. That's how it works, guys. I know you don't like it. There's many women who get pregnant. Now, it takes two to tango, no doubt. But guess what? The guy can bail out. The woman stays with the burden. That's why men and women are different. That's why her value is in that thing. That protection, that innocence. Because once she gives that up, as one auntie said, women are like silk. If you stay in it, it's so hard to take it out. Men, kind of like gold, you can polish it. Yeah, it can get dirty, you can get it, but in the end, you can polish it. It's not me, akhi. Allah created women and men different. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why he mentioned azaniyatu azani in Surah An-Nur. Why does he put the woman first? Look at the tafsir. Because if a woman gives it up, and she has to give it up, if not, a man has to rape her, then of course, the punishment for rape is disastrous for a man. It's done. He's done. But indeed, for zina to take place, the woman has to actually accept in the end. Yeah, the man can twist her, he can seduce her, this and that. But bottom line, if a woman does not want to, it will not happen. And that's why the Mufassirin have mentioned the woman first. Because the amount of shame and the amount of consequences that happen are higher for a woman. Both haram. No one says that it's halal for the man. A'udhu billah. Don't even get that. But the consequence, look, the guy bailed. He bailed. His family made him bail. And now she's left 5 months pregnant. Question is why? Because she could have avoided that. I blame her father too. And the men are wrong. Of course, we blame ourselves first. First of all, we have to understand. We always say that. Men are first responsible. It's me. As a father, it's me. As a husband, I'm responsible. I'm the one allowing these things to happen. But bottom line is, if she would have not gone to university, this would have not happened. If you would have stayed within the parda, within the hijab, within what Islam teaches, as opposed to what these liberal women who are, really insulting us on the comments, pushing women to go, do whatever you want. Some sheikhs are saying, go women, no problem if you travel alone, no problem if you go to university alone, no problem if you live in a student accommodation with men and women, no problem, we trust you. You're a woman, you fear Allah. Look at what's happening, guys. The statistics and the numbers and the cases that we're dealing with are saying different. The compassionate imams are saying one thing, and the numbers and the sisters are saying another thing. Yet the liberals are still pushing. No, go girl, you can do it. You can be a CEO. Go girl, don't listen to these misogynists, these Pakistani boys, as one of the comments said, these Pakistani boys born in Britain, thinking that they can do this and this. What does it have to do with Pakistani boys in the first place? I don't know. Sometimes these arguments are just ludicrous. But the numbers in the cases, speak for themselves. Look, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. We can see what's there. We can look at what's going on. Do some research. It's a problem. So, are we against females being educated? No. We're against females being schooled in these programs, going away from home, taking off their hijab, forfeiting their innocence, mixing with men, having male boyfriends, having guys around, thinking that they want the good for. We know how bad men can be because we are men. Yeah, I don't mind admitting that we know exactly how we think. We know the badness, how shaitan can play with a man's mind. That's the thing about men, though. We're pretty open about that. We're clear about that. We kind of wear our, hearts on our sleeves. But women, they're always like, no, we're not like that. We're innocent. We're this, we're that. It's not like that. Boom, something happens. They cry. They regret. But guess what? They cannot go back. It's very difficult. Then they start blaming, well, no man wants to take upon a woman who's got children. Yeah, it's a bit tough. Most men would not do that. But they should. I know they should. The question is, do they? Right? We don't go based on should in life. We kind of go based on what's happening and the reality of things. You have to understand. Women commit zina. They have children. And then they have the audacity to say, well, some man, some nice guy should, because I made tawbah. Yeah, I know you made tawbah, and inshallah, Allah accepts that tawbah. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala. But bottom line is that there's consequences to your actions. And now you cannot blame a man who doesn't want to connect with you and doesn't want to take that responsibility on you because you had fun when you were in your teenage years or early 20s, and now you're 30 and you finally want to settle down. And you can say, oh, guys are so bad. They don't want to take responsibility. They just complain about women. They just want virgins and this, that. Look, again, bottom line is what happened, what would happen, idealistically what we like versus the reality. You cannot blame a man who's worked on himself, who's been even virgin, he didn't even touch a woman, and now he gets with a woman. Like when I saw the answer of one of the sheikhs, and I respect him, I love the brother, but may Allah help him in this matter, because I think it's wrong, because it's not the same as just disclosing your sins. You're talking about the consequences of a person who finds out. Yes, Allah forgives, no doubt. But in reality, that mind of that man is not that easy to settle on that issue, especially if you lied, especially if you asked you. It's not so simple that, yeah, just accept her because Allah forgives. Yeah, I want you to take you to a very clear example. A very clear example of Qissatul Ifq, Surah An-Nur, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about this and what happened, the incident with Aisha radiallahu anha. How angry was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Now people could say, but come on, man, you should not suspect inna ba'da dhanni ithm. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would go, walk in, and Aisha would feel that something is wrong. And he would ask about her and leave. He would not hug her. He would not come close to her, to the point that she asked to leave and go back to her father's house. The Prophet ﷺ would just come and just check on her. He was so jealous, so angry, and it was just a rumor, because this is how men are. A person could make the argument, he's the Prophet ﷺ, he should understand better and not believe these rumors and this and that, till Allah revealed the innocence. The Prophet was just a man. When he received very revelation, and it's a different story, but أنا بشر مثلكم, I am a man like you. Okay, he was extremely hurt. Extremely hurt. Now, he could have been hurt just by the people. Actually, he felt very distant from Aisha radiallahu anha. You have to understand, my sisters and my brothers, that the fitrah of a man is very different when it comes to the issues of innocence and chastity. This is something very important. Yes, the Prophet ﷺ married non-virgins, 100%. There was only one virgin that he married, and that was Aisha. And that's why in the Hadith of Bukhari, Aisha radiallahu anha mentioned, she asked the Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, if you were to see a land that has not been cultivated before and it's fertile, would you go to that or to a land that has been cultivated and touched before? And this is talking about virginity. And the Prophet ﷺ said, indeed, the land that's not been cultivated before and it's fertile. And then she said, لم يتزوج من بعد بكرة. She basically made, or كما قالت, she made that statement that he did not marry after me another virgin. So she was highlighting her value as a virgin woman. Yet the Prophet ﷺ married not virgin women, no doubt. Who says that? We should take care of many women. Bottom line is what I try to explain to sisters, should and reality sometimes are very different. Okay, yes, many men should be more flexible, understand. Some women are, lost their husbands, been divorced. Yeah, they all should and have a husband. But you have to also understand the reality. Why? We're just telling you so that you young sisters can try to protect that innocence. Take it a bit more serious. Don't take it so lightly. Think twice about, if your father is, with all due respect, so weak that he's going to allow you to do whatever you want, at least you think about your own value. So that though you don't reach 30 after gone through university and university's gone through you, with all due respect, and then at 30 you want some guy, handsome guy, who's worked hard his whole life to come and rescue. Is the reality. I'm talking real talk here. We're not trying to put women down. We're not trying to say that Allah is not going to forgive women or this and that. We don't know. It's between them and Allah. We're talking about the reality and the social dynamics and interactions within the Islam, the fiqh of Islam, and the realities of human life that Islam covers. Okay? Keep that in mind so that you can protect and take this thing heavily and not lightly. That when you're tempted with temptation to do certain things and to expose yourself to the world and to forfeit and to compromise your innocence, then you'll think twice, if not 3 times. Allah has put rules. He has put hijab on women, not on men. Allah has put rules on you for a specific reason. This is not misogynist talk. This is real talk. So please understand what we are talking about. So let us go. So bottom line is here to this brother, to answer the question. Well, the way out is that the whole community, we should support brothers who don't have the financial ability to marry. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba, the Tabi'een, and the Khulafa, they used to have what's called Sanduk al-Zawaj, where people would put money and allow the people to take from there so they can get married, so they can pay mahar, so they can establish a house, and so on. Even till today, I've seen it in some Muslim countries. There is Wizaratul Sanduk al-Zawaj. There's a body by the government that helps young men to get married. Alhamdulillah, some countries do it well. I believe our masajid can do that. I believe our communities can do that. I believe so. I believe families can, instead of buying a 3rd car and a 4th car and a house in I don't know where, that they can open an apartment or a room for their sons, their daughters to marry in halal and to help them till they establish themselves on their feet. I do believe parents have a lot to do with this. And because again, it's such a taboo and a guna for parents to be criticized and no one dares to do that. But in reality, a lot of parents are making dhulm on their children. Yes, children are responsible for their own actions, but bottom line is some people push others. Now, anyway, let us go to, and again guys, I hope you're enjoying, and Jazakallah khair for the super chat. Let me go through super chats. Again, I can see your super chats faster if you send them, and we love and we appreciate your support. You can do a super chat, and it actually supports the dawah. It helps me to do more live broadcasts, spend more time on answering questions, taking away from my day-to-day job and focusing more on these kind of platforms because it is important. So he says, if a man had a lot of sexual experiences, is there a guarantee that after marriage he would change, or will he struggle with sexual loyalty? There is no guarantee. It can be a problem, even for men, right? That doesn't mean that just a man can go and sleep around and do whatever. That's not what we mean by that, because it can affect him as well. But in general, a man's physiology and psychology doesn't change as much as a woman's would. I mean, when a woman has had, so for example, if you have a guy who has had 5 partners before marriage, women, and a woman had 5 partners before marriage, there's a big difference. Huge, huge difference. The guy is not so bad. He can still polish himself and fix himself and commit to this one woman or 2 or 3 or 4. Keep in mind, for the man, he has the options. That's why his sexual experiences can be offset by other options. For the woman, though, she doesn't have an option. She cannot offset her sexual experiences with 4 guys, 4 husbands. This is the rule of Allah. All right? So they're very different. So it depends on the man as well and what he's done before. But he has options of variety. Okay? While for the woman, she doesn't. So he can change, inshallah. There's more chance of him changing, but some people, some men, obviously, they overdo it and they destroy themselves as well, and that can be a problem. But Jazakallah khair for the super chat. Again, guys and girls, you can hit that super chat. It supports the dawah. May Allah bless you. There's another super chat here. Barakallahu feekum. Would men who have prior sexual experience place those sexual performance expectations he had with other women on his inexperienced wife, bride? Because men are more the performer, right? He doesn't want a woman to do some crazy numbers on him. Actually, that doesn't necessarily will satisfy a man. Actually, it's very attractive when a woman is inexperienced sexually. It is very, very attractive for a man when a woman is inexperienced and molds according to him and he leads her. Okay? And it's very unattractive when a man doesn't know what he's doing. To women. Women have said that clearly, even virgin women. They said, I want my husband to at least know what he's going to do. I don't know what I'm doing. So he's not necessarily, I would say mostly guys who have watched a lot of porn are going to expect or have those expectations, unrealistic expectations on their bride. Guys who have watched porn. Okay, and that's why porn is so dangerous. So yes, I think men, when it comes to an actual physical relationship with their wife, I think a lot of their pleasure and performance will be based on her innocence and the way she is as a woman. And that's going to please him and satisfy. It doesn't take a lot to please a man and to satisfy a man. Okay, men are a bit more linear. However, women's systems are a bit more complex when it comes to pleasure. We discussed this in many, many videos. But barakallahu feekum again for the super chat. That is big support for us, alhamdulillah. Brother MBJ has put, his $5, mashallah. Barakallahu feekum. That helps a lot. That helps a lot in terms of us doing this kind of work, alhamdulillah. And another beautiful super chat. Are we allowed to ask about STDs before marriage? Yes. Yes, you're allowed to ask about STDs before marriage because that can really affect the person. Any kind of defects, issues, that's allowed to be asked about. All right. Again, Jazakallah khair for the support and all the comments. There's a lot of comments. Again, if you support the da'wah with the super chat, helps us to continue the work. You can also become a patron, by the way. You can also become a patron. For $3 a month, you can actually jump on Patreon. And what you do is you get some exclusive behind the scenes things when I travel, things that I don't necessarily post online on public, different projects that I deal with in education and dealing with young men, working with young men, just meeting different mashayikh, different people, different reflections. You can get that, inshallah, with being a patron for as little as $3 a month. Because what we're trying to do is have sustainability, have independence, to continue in going forward in doing this da'wah. So patreon.com, GL Romani, barakallahu fikum. Let us now jump into the video. As we have gone 40 minutes now, read some of your comments. We'll jump into the video and explain the video. And then we will actually we will actually take your questions from the live chat, the anonymous chat. Again, it's in my Instagram. You can click on the link and drop me a anonymous question or comment. And please behave, yeah, because some people send some nasty stuff. All right, so let us share the screen here and see the video itself. Bismillah, this is the video, and let us watch it.
يبقى في اغترابي فقير في الحياة من الصحاب ومن يأمنك يا دنيا الدواهي تدوسين المصاحب في التراب وأعجب من مريدك وهو يدري بأنك في الورى أم العجاب ولولا أن لي معنى جميلا لبعت المكث فيها بالذات.
All right, so I again, to review, what was the issue about? So let's go one by one. So her youth, she's given up her youth. Indeed, she's wasting her years pursuing certain education. Now here, maybe we could have explained a bit more. And I'm going to say, yeah, we could have maybe said a bit more, explain a bit, because we do believe women should have knowledge and education. It's about which system and how. Do they have to go out, mix with everyone, compromise themselves? No, they can learn. There's so many options right now to learn and to gain knowledge. You're going to be teaching the children. You're going to be learning different things about the deen, of course. You're going to be the first teachers for our children. So we do invest in women and learning and so on. It's about the way, the schooling, the education that's done by the West, the compromisation, the corruption of women. This is something that's really clear. It's been also shown that women who have higher education, they have lesser chances of having a successful marriage. That goes back to the issue of hypergamy and compatibility. We can talk about that in another live broadcast, inshallah, or video. But indeed, that is the way. And again, I want to reiterate, the type of degree that a woman has is not really the biggest deal for a man. A woman can learn knowledge, can gain knowledge, Islamic knowledge, even some worldly knowledge that's beneficial. We do need some female nurses, we need female midwives, we need female doctors, teachers. No doubt, that's a fard kifaya that has to be fulfilled. The problem is not that we're not fighting against that. That's why I want the sisters to calm down. Like, they were reacting so badly, especially on the first point. What we're trying to tell you is we're fighting the mentality where women think that, no, I have to do this. I have to prove the world that I'm better than a man, that I'm going to compete. I'm going to take that degree and then do what? And then complain when I don't get married. Then complain when I'm rude and I think I'm better than my husband. Complain that he's not a good man. Reality is reality. Look at the statistics and look at the research on hypergamy and on women who are educated and on their success rate of marriage. Simple. So it's not that we don't think women should have some knowledge and education. It's that the way it's done and the way the world is done and the way it's compromising, which leads us to the next thing, right? The next point is, so we talked about her youth. Definitely, she's given up her youth, her femininity, because she's competing with men mentally, physically. She wants to be like a man. She honestly, wallahi, next time I'm not saying check out women, but if you see a couple walking, look at how they walk, subhanAllah. Women's physiognomy has changed. They walk like men. They talk like men. They act like men. Why? Because they have to develop manly features, manly adjectives for them to succeed in this world, because the paradigms of success in this world have been laid out by men. The reality is harsh, but it is what it is. Let's look at a clearest example. In media, when a woman is a tough girl, she's an action girl in a movie, she's highlighted as like, wow, she's a boss babe, she's a bad bee. When a man is feminine, he's like, oh, he's so gay, he's so this, he's so that. Because we praise the characteristics of strength, assertiveness, independence in the world, while the weakness and the softness is not praised. You know that. In the world, in the environment, in the business world, in war and conflict. Do you think that a little flimsy person is going to praise in conflict and in dog world? No. Because those are masculine characteristics that are praised. A woman has to change her fitrah to be able to perform and to win maybe in this world if she wants to, in that job, in whatever she does. She's going to have to compete with men, and in order to compete with men, you're going to have to develop manly characteristics. It's clear. Bottom line. Look, bottom line. Women used to wear dresses. Clear indication. Why? Because it was feminine. Even in the West. Early 1900s, before First World War, women were in dresses. They didn't wear pants. They didn't wear manly attire. It changed though. After war, women had to go in the factories, take jobs, right? Because they killed all the men. And trust me, it was on purpose. And now they have that, that woman, we can do it, flexing her little muscles. So, but they had to change their attire. They had to wear pants now. They have to roll up their sleeves so their sleeves don't get cut off, or have short sleeves. Now they have to expose themselves. No more dresses, because the dresses will get caught up in the machinery, in the industry. So they had to, if you look at the uniforms that women were adapting, were masculine dress. We didn't start wearing long skirts and whatever female dresses. They started wearing manly dress so it can fit within the environment that they're working with. But if anyone knows anything about psychology, when you start wearing a certain clothing that's restrictive or it opens you, it basically changes even the way you feel about yourself. Your thought process changes. Honestly, when you put a nice clean clothing on Jummah, don't you feel amazing? Don't you feel good? Your mind feels good. Same thing when you put certain things that are restrictive, too tight, too this, too that. It changes the way you walk, the way you behave, the way you react. It does. Wallah, it does. So women started giving up their femininity for masculinity. Look at the way women talk these days. Look at their voice. Look at how many women are suffering from PCOS. Look how many women are taking birth control pills to control acne and what effects it has. The study that showed that women start being attracted, fluid in their sexuality due to the birth control pill. Look at the study of PCOS showing that most lesbians suffer from PCOS. Is there a correlation? Well, if you know what PCOS is, look into it. Yes, definitely there's been targeting to destroy a woman's fertility, her innocence, and her nature, to make her like a man. But guess what? When a woman becomes a man, she becomes the worst version of a man. Her beauty, of course she's going to give up her beauty because she puts makeup, she has to go out, this and that. Okay, the brother puts sun exposure. Maybe, okay, we're apologize about the sun exposure thing. But definitely women are infecting their skin with these chemicals. Read the ingredients of makeup. I know the women want to look pretty. I know the guys like that sometimes. But some just overdo it. They're always on it. So of course, this was a very truthful point. So her youth was one, her fertility, her young age, her femininity, we've already proven, as she gives it up. We talked about her femininity, her manners. Of course, she's going to have to interact with the kuffar and do all these things. Her virginity, we talked about, I showed you how many women lose their virginity. Muslim women, they lose their virginity. Her innocence, definitely. Her beauty, definitely. As I said, exposure. Her honor, definitely the way she behaves, how she interacts with men. What kind of honor is that? What kind of honor when a woman talks like a man, screams loud, laughs loud, flirts with men? Where's the honor? Where's the haya? When a woman should be bashful and shy and so on. What's wrong about the video? Literally, honestly, if you look at the video, what was wrong that people became so 330 comments, people fighting, people just losing it? And when you look at their profiles, she, he, whatever, they, them, whatever, fridge, astaghfirullah, computer. So what's wrong? Which one of these points was wrong? Other maybe let's say, I'm sorry about the sun. because yeah, women should get some vitamin D sometimes on their face. But where? Her honor, her chastity, her virginity. Look how many women lose their virginity. They don't care about their virginity. They try to hide it. They go to Turkey to get surgery, to be sewn up again so they look like they're virgin, to recreate their hymen. And honestly, come on, think about it. What's wrong? Why can people? Which thing is against Islam? Look at the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. Look at the first generations. Look at the Ummah of Islam till recently. Only in the last 50 years things have changed with the sexual revolution. Man, women themselves never would agree with this, but it's only with the day's brainwashing of. Look at the natural progression. A woman is born, she gets Disney right away. She gets cartoons that start brainwashing them. Like, it's almost unavoidable. Then movies, then social media, then education, then this, then that. She goes through a process of brainwashing. When we talk about virginity, we're also talking about virginity in the head. I've explained this concept already. You might be virgin in your private part, but here you're messed up. And yes, it will affect you. And some things that some women say, and what the brothers, they married them, and what they discover on the night of their marriage. And yes, I'm like, was she virgin? She's like, well, yeah, she was virgin down there, but here it was a monster, man. And the divorce isn't the problem. I'm telling you, wallahi uqsim billah, I swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm responsible for what I say. That these things happen. That some of the brothers, they're like shocked, man. They're like, what the heck? Where is this coming from? She says she's a virgin. She is a virgin. I felt she was a virgin. But here, brother, it was scary, man. It was scary. Me as a man, I felt shy. I felt like, what the heck is this? So when we say that, honestly, I mean, it's not with malicious intent. Your sisters have to understand that. Yes, we are weak as men. Yes, we have a lot of mistakes, a lot of problems. We admit it. We admit it. Hey, we're honest about it. We're trying to work. That's why we're doing these retreats. We're doing the Muslim Alpha. We're doing retreats with Dr. Asif, with all the brothers. We're doing Akhi Adventures, riding horse in Morocco. We're teaching men how to shoot bow and arrow, how to fight, MMA. Coach Salman is MMA, Ummah Combat, Blackbeard Academy, and in Slough. All these brothers from Coventry, the brothers from Birmingham. Shout out to all the brothers from the UK, East London, right? All the brothers, mashallah, we're trying to. We know we're weak. That's what we're saying. But the sisters don't want to admit it, that they are now too strong. And it's not something positive. You have to understand. That strength is not something that you should be proud of, because it turns us off. It puts us off. We don't want you. And then women complain they cannot get married. Please understand what we're saying. We're not trying to, there's no malicious intent here. We're not trying to make you, be bad or anything like that. I don't see anything. So please understand what we mean. So that was the video. Okay. I know we have a lot to work on as men. I agree with you. But that was the video. There's nothing in that video that's wrong. There's nothing that triggered women to go crazy on it. There's nothing that people should be upset about. Okay, this is the reality. So now let's go to the questions again. Let me check the super chat again. I really appreciate for the brothers who are hitting the super chat. It's helping us to continue dawah. Brothers saying that, Muhammad is saying, as a 23-year-old virgin, I also want a virgin girl. 100%. 100%. So if you find one that's not a virgin, she can lie to you because they think, well, I've made this mistake. Allah made tawbah upon me now. Let me, marry this guy and lie to him. I always say to the brothers and to the sisters, if you really want a virgin person, just say to the person that you're pursuing, hey, listen, I don't know. I don't need to know. I don't want you to expose your sins. I understand the fatwa. What I'm telling you is that if you are not a virgin, if you have a past, and you've sexually suffered or done certain things, just please don't contact me. Or just say tomorrow that, hey, salam alaikum, we're not compatible. Nice to meet you. That's it. I'm not going to ask you anything. Just leave it at that, because for me, this matters a lot. If it doesn't matter to you, and it's not an issue, then bismillah, tawakkal Allah. But if it really matters, and for a lot of people it does matter, then at least say that. Because there's all these fatwas that a person shouldn't reveal their sins. True. But here specifically, what's going to affect the marriage and the implications of the effects of those marriages, I think this is a very different situation. So keep that. So definitely, I agree with Brother Muhammad. But Jazakallah khair, Brother Muhammad, uh, for the super chat. It's a huge support, guys. Huge support. Another super chat from Jawad. Allah bless your work has helped me. I have the option to marry a traditional woman. I wonder what will happen to Western sisters. Very, very good point. And that's a lot of sisters ask that, like, what about us? What's going to happen with us? Well, here's another interesting thing. Believe it or not, men, and if you look at the Prophet ﷺ, how come he was able to deal with non-virgins? Women who were married before. Women who come from Jahiliyyah. Well, that's because he had his virgin. And if you look at even the Sahaba, the hadith is clear. Who did he love the most, guys? Aisha radiallahu anha. The hadith says very clearly. The Sahaba asked him, who do you love, Ya Rasulullah? He thought that he loves him. He said Aisha. Then he said, after that, who? Her father. He was clear. Why did he love Aisha? Well, part of it is because of who she was. Did he love his other wives? Yes. But Aisha he loved the most. Men will take another woman who's maybe not a virgin and marry her as a second wife, third wife, fourth wife. This is the benefits of polygyny. I know people hate this, but you have to understand the wisdom of polygyny. When a man has his virgin woman, sometimes it's easier for him to marry another virgin that's not a woman that's not virgin. Now, keep in mind, there's a big distinction between a virgin who is not a muhsina, i.e., she's had a past in zina, had sex before with many men, didn't respect herself, and a woman who is married and divorced. A woman who's been married and divorced, she's a muhsina, she's a thayyib. She is protected. Okay, the divorce is divorce, but that's different. She was married legally and halal. Just because she's not a virgin doesn't mean she's not a good woman. A woman who is a widow, she was married in halal. It was not her fault that her husband died. So she's very different than a woman who's been going around, sleeping around, and all that, and having fun. Very big difference, guys. You have to make that distinction, okay? So, again, men will accommodate certain things. Depends on, case to case scenario. So that's what I believe. That I think polygyny is a solution for Western women. 100%. 100%. But Jazakallah khair, Brother Jawad, for the super chat. The dawah really helps a lot. We thank you. And yeah, we'll take more super chats if there are any more. MashaAllah. Allahumma barik. Yes, there's another one. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair from Muslim 846. How to deal with schizotypal personality disorder. I would advise you to maybe book a session to talk about this, because we need to assess. Definitely, first of all, make sure you are diagnosed by a professional. We need to understand what they've done, what kind of tests, what they recommended. So I need a lot of details for this. So please, if you can book a session, you can talk. We also have our senior psychiatrist consultant, Dr. Abu Isa, and we can check with him as well. But we need to understand a little bit more on this, and maybe we can help you that way. But yeah, we need more details. So inshallah, you can deal with these things. Okay, you can deal with these things, and inshallah, you can heal. I would say probably just today, in today's broadcast, just off the top of my head here, I always recommend ruqya for every mental health issue. Ruqya, schizophrenia, psychosis, OCD, depression. Ruqya, read ruqya, believe in the ruqya. وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاء. This is, the Quran is shifa. Read ruqya. Start with that. Then we take other stuff, other secular means, other medical stuff. No doubt those have a very important position, but I would definitely recommend ruqya. Now, okay, very good comment. I'm going to take a few comments here. Mary says, we've been driven to be strong. We want to be taken care of and protected. I totally agree. I do believe, as I said, that some women were pushed into this, okay, on purpose. And some because of the lack of masculinity in the men, because men have been pushed to be weak. So some women had to become almost like a man As one of the women used to say, that I became the man I wanted to marry. Some women didn't choose to be divorced. Some women didn't choose to leave their husbands. Some women didn't choose that the community didn't support them, or their parents, or this or that. And they've been pushed into that. No doubt. Men have to take first and foremost responsibility that we have, because we're the leaders, right? We claim to be the qawam, so we have to take that accountability. But still, bottom line is, there's a lot of women who know and realize that they've been pushed to be strong, and they fight it, and they want to change, and they want to deal with it. But some women, that's not the women we fight, by the way. The women that we fight, the ideology that we're fighting, is those women who think that it is their right. They have to prove it. They have to defeat the man. They have to take leadership of the world. Those are the women that we are addressing. For the sisters who are suffering and who want to be taken care of, protected, yes, some of them have suffered. Some of them have to deal with that suffering. Some of the consequences of the suffering can sometimes destabilize their marriages. Sadly, that trauma is going to be there. But I believe that if they try to at least fix themselves a bit, just like we men are working ourselves, I believe that, inshallah, that can be a positive outcome. And again, I want to highlight here, really, on the sisters, to put on the sisters. How many sisters do you have who do what we do for men, for women? How many women promote femininity? How many? Very few. Sisters' Corner, a couple of sisters here and there. But how many women? How many women have a training class? Very few. Very few. Okay, very, very few. Maybe I know off the top of my head 2 or 3. That's it. How many? But men are working on masculinity, pushing that. Yeah, we're calling toxic, blah, 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 but we're working on it. So I would say women need to step up, to start helping women, supporting women to become more feminine, teaching them. Because then they'll be more agreeable, easier to marry, and hopefully then they'll have someone to take care of them. Now, beautiful statement here. Ishad says, whatever you fear in life is face it. Just face your fears. It helps you to be stronger mentally. Start with simple tasks and go up from there. A beautiful advice. Beautiful advice. Face your fears. Face the fears. This is one of the main philosophies that we have when it comes to the deen, right? That we should not allow fears to limit us. And this is what we always teach in the Muslim Alpha course. Face your fears, guys. Beautiful advice. Barakallahu feekum. All right, let's look at a few more things. Okay, Salam, did you read the anonymous questions? No, I'm going to get to them right now, inshallah. Okay, please don't fight in chat. I second that. Please don't fight in the chat. Okay. Okay, barakallahu feekum. Let's go to the the anonymous chats. You have my link on the Instagram, and please keep sending those super chats. I'll be reading them again. I appreciate the support. It is a great support for those who are helping us. Okay, I'll take this last one. If a woman doesn't want to clean or cook or be a mother, she is worthless in the eyes of a true man. 100%. This is an amazing comment. 110%. Because why? Because a man is going to put value and puts value. All men, throughout life, throughout history, the value of a woman was in this. Her taking care of the house. It's not that she's a slave to a man and this and no. Because there's that nurturing feminine thing and making food is a beautiful thing. Taking care of the house, being a mother, nurturing human souls. This is value for men, wallahi. We don't care about your degree. Maybe some simpy men today, they're like, no, my wife has to work. I've heard about it. Where women themselves are complaining, Yahi, these men are worthless. They're asking us to do this. I say, I won't marry if you don't do that. So definitely beautiful statement here. All right. Let us go to the chats, to the anonymous questions. All right. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that come through that, right? So this is how it works, right? You see the red messages or the unread, they come in there and it does not say who is the one that is messaged. So 3 minutes ago, tips to be the best wife. Be feminine, be submissive, be religious. It's a big thing for a man that his wife is religious, because religiosity in a woman is linked to trust, to honesty, and to her, the word that I'm trying to use, her chastity, right? Her loyalty. Be religious. Take care of appearance, your beauty, and don't fight with him. Oh yeah, and last but not least, respect. If you have something to say, just check your tone of voice and choose your words. That's it. It's not the men don't want to listen. They just don't want their heads to be beaten in. To be beat in, sorry. So tips to be the best wife is not a lot, honestly. Be feminine, be on the deen, take care of your beauty, respect him. It's not a lot. Just be a wife. Simple. Next. Let me take the next super chat here. Really quickly, we'll alternate if there's super chats. I do want to give the brothers their value. So he says that Superfly. Aroma, astaghfirullah. May Allah forgive me. I'm not Superfly. May Allah bless you, akhi. Brother Salihin. I know this brother. Some women claim the Prophet ﷺ Sahaba married more than one, only for specific reasons such as orphan girls or widows after war took after them. These days we're supposed to have only one. True? No, this is incorrect. Some people claim that. It's true that some people claim that, but it is not true. I'll tell you why. So we're studying a book called The Women Around the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You can look at the book. It's a good book. It's a seerah book. So the Prophet ﷺ took Maria. Maria the Copt was given as a gift, and she was a servant woman, a slave woman. Her and Sirin were sent to the Prophet ﷺ, both of them. The Prophet ﷺ took Maria because, as the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, she said that she was extremely beautiful, white skin, and very curly hair. And her ancestry was Greek or Roman. And the Prophet ﷺ gave Sirin to Hassan ibn Thabit. So we're studying this last night, actually, and I'm going to release a video on that, about Surah Tahrim and what happened with Maria. But bottom line is that the Prophet ﷺ, she was not an orphan. She was not this. She was a woman, a slave woman. The Prophet ﷺ took her, and she became Muslim after. Some scholars say that he married her, but bottom line is that he was intimate with her from the beginning, because it is halal for him. He took her for her beauty. Forget about just, because she's an orphan or this or that or that. No. This is like one of the wisdoms of marriage, no doubt. It's one of the wisdoms. Orphan women, widows, divorcees, no doubt. One of the wisdoms of polygyny. And there's a lot of orphan women. Oh, how many Syrians? Brothers, come on, man, wake up. How many Syrian orphan women are there? How many Yemeni orphan women are there? How many Palestinian orphan women are there? Where are the brothers then? There's a need, no doubt. Okay? So, how many widows are there, Ya Allah, with the conflict? How many widows are there, Ya Allah? Where are the brothers at? So, yeah. But bottom line is the Prophet ﷺ married women, and some because he was attracted to them, some for political reasons, some for whatever. When he married, for example, Safiya, the Jewish woman, again, she was pretty. The wives of the Prophet ﷺ were jealous because she was extremely pretty. When he gave it to someone else before, he didn't see her. But when he saw her, because one Sahabi said, Ya Rasul, I think it's more appropriate for you to take her. When he finally saw her, that's when he said, yes, I will take her. Before that, he gave it. He didn't even look at her. He gave it to someone else. When the Sahabi highlighted, Ya Rasulullah, see her, I think she's for you, then he took it. I know women can get upset. Their deen can be questioned. That's why a lot of compassionate imams try to hide these things, because they think they can protect a person's iman. The iman is not up to you, akhi. It's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to, because the enemies of Islam are attacking us. This knowledge is public. We need to understand this is Islam, akhi. That's why it's called submission. Okay, if a person is going to have doubts in Islam, because what did the Prophet ﷺ do? Because the Prophet ﷺ was a man. And a man is a man. He's the Prophet ﷺ was the best man in this world. There was no better man in this world than him. And the way he behaved with Maria, she loved him. She gave him a son. He loved her. She became Muslim because of his behavior, not because of anyone else's behavior. Reality is reality. Bottom line is Islam brings solutions to the problems. Our world is suffering. There are many, many sisters who need marriage. If the imams, the simpy imams, the weak, compassionate imams would teach men how to do polygyny properly, imagine if every masjid would have a program to warn men on what the problems could be, to teach men, to help men, to support men and women who want to do polygyny, to educate them of the dangers and the benefits. Imagine that there will be more successful marriages. Because bottom line, guess what? Men are still going to do polygyny, legally or unlegally, lawfully or unlawfully, because it's part of their DNA. And guess what? Women are going to still be looking for it. Because for many women, they want that. They'd rather have a man than be alone. And there's many sisters who want that. We're in a crisis in this world. There's many orphans, many widows. If you're going based on that philosophy, well, then it applies more today than ever, probably. So you kind of shoot yourself in the foot, sisters, when you bring this kind of arguments, you know. Not that the brother brought it, but the brother's just making a point about it. Okay? Now, Jazakallah khair, brother Salihin. Okay? Now, Jazakallah khair again for all the support, guys. Let's go to Z. Z is saying we should consider price of living in the GTA. 100%. 100%. You have to consider. But at the same time, you should consider also that Khadija radiallahu anha helped the Prophet sometimes financially. Okay, yes, the man is supposed to be the qawwam, but sometimes a woman was going to make a concession depending on the situation. Khadija radiallahu anha spent all her money on the Prophet. Did that mean that the Prophet was less of a man? I'm not saying that, okay, now it's going to be 50-50 because I don't agree with that. No doubt. But sometimes, depending on the situation, if a brother is good and you want to marry him, sister, and you're okay financially, you might want to make some concessions. Be like, hey, you know what? I'll marry you. I'll help. I'll do this. There's ways. Wallahi, there's ways. Wallahi, we live in the 21st centuries. There's ways around this thing. Okay, because sutra and afafa is the most important thing in marriage. And if two people, they want to get married, they will find a way. No doubt. Now, parents expect children to behave with deen after maturity, yet they never taught them such boundaries as children. Girls should be trained to wear hijab as a toddler, as they learn as part of their dress code. 100%, 100%, 100%. Sometimes, again, we feel that the parents are just perfect. Of course, we should respect and love our parents, but sometimes they use this like religious shaming, and you know, they're your parents and everything is okay for them to do, and so on. Okay. All right. Going back to the anonymous questions. There are many sisters that I find attractive, but when I start asking them during marriage meetings, things start to show. While the ones that I find unattractive seem to be well grounded, I have decided to leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and stop looking. It comes when it comes. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the concept of vetting and getting to understand someone, because things show up, right? Sometimes a person might be good from far, but far from good. So you need to do a bit of digging, because you're investing in the rest of your life. That's why we made the master class for vetting. You can see it in the link in the bio in my Instagram. It's a very good class because it shows like what are some of the things that you need to consider before going talking to this person. What are some questions that you should ask? What are some red flags, green flags, and all that? So there are many sisters, yes, attractiveness, but when you start talking to them, things start to show. The reality comes in. And that's the thing you have to understand. Allah created women beautiful. That's just the way it is. 90% of women are attractive in a sense. I'm not talking about here like model, magazine way. I mean, this is just the way Allah created them. Allah has made them beautiful, just the way they are. Their hair, their skin, their body shape. It's just aesthetically, they are pleasing. And that's why it is a fitna. And that's why Allah ordered them to cover. It's a test on them, a test on us. So 90% of women are somehow attractive. Okay? When it comes to men, to find a good-looking guy, an attractive guy, it's a struggle sometimes. Because naturally, men are just not, you know, they have to kind of work for it. Even for a man to have an attractive body, he needs to spend some proper time in the gym. For a woman to have an attractive body, man, sometimes even if she eats a little bit extra, it's going to be better, right? It depends. Like that's just the way Allah created them, right? I mean, this whole gym body girls that they do the muscles, and I don't know. I don't think men are that attracted to it, really, to be honest. Woman naturally, when she just watches her diet a little bit of exercise, she's just, Allah created her beautiful. That's just the way it is. But the problem is with the guys is that they equate attraction and beauty to goodness. And this is deception. They see a woman being beautiful and they say she's a good woman. And then they discover later on that, man, that's not how it is. That's just the way it is, guys. Women are beautiful. We have to admit it. That's just the way it is, yeah. The Prophet ﷺ himself said, حُبِّبَ إِلَيَّ مِن دُنْيَاكُمْ الطِّيبُ وَالنِّسَاء. It's been made beloved for me from your dunya, perfume and women. Simple. Yeah, this is how, oh, your Prophet loved women. Yo, duh, of course he did. Hello. Who doesn't? Like any guy who says, no, I don't like women. Like, come on, bro. Stop messing about and be honest. Women are beautiful. That's just the way it is. Allahumma barik. Allah, tabarakallahu, ahsanul khaliqeen. Allah has created them. Why do you think man will get hurs in Jannah and this and that? Women are beautiful. And men are weak for it. But guys, do not equate beauty to goodness. This is the main mistake of brothers, okay? Okay. So, please understand that. There's plenty of handsome men. I believe that there are handsome men, but when compared to women, in terms of numbers, and look at the statistics. There was statistics. 95% of women, or most women, find only about 5% of men attractive, while most men find pretty much most women attractive. Okay? So, yeah. Try to understand that, honestly. It is what it is. No topic related, but any books that you recommend, Islamic and non-Islamic, but beneficial? Definitely, guys, the Quran. Always the Quran. The book that I'm reading right now and I'm teaching is Women Around the Prophet ﷺ, around the Messenger. Another book that I'm looking into and I read is Atomic Habits. It's a non-Muslim book, but it's a good book, beneficial book. And The 5 a.m. Club, it's a very good book that I could recommend right now. I've read a few of them. If I'm looking right now, I can give you a few more things that I've looked at. 12 Rules for Life. It's not a bad book, actually. And let me see here what I've done before. I'm reading now something called Money Master the Game. Money Master the Game, 7 Simple Steps to Financial Freedom. That's a good book as well. Again, you have to take it with a grain of salt, right, when you take from non-Muslims, right? And a very great book that I recommend, Fiqh of Sirah, Islamic book, the life of the Prophet, but the fiqh perspective. Very, very good. Muhammad Ghazali. Not Sheikh Imam Ghazali, but Muhammad Ghazali, the recent one who passed away, Allah yarham, and was buried in Medina. I think he passed away in the 90s or early 2000s. No. All right. Barakallahu fiqh. MEJ, Barakallahu fiqh. I heard that River women get sexually used a lot by Muslim men after conversion. They drop them after they had their fun with them. Is that true? Yes, sadly, there is some truth in that. Where a lot of the brothers are gonna, traditional, typical brothers are gonna marry these river sisters and they're gonna expect them to be like, I don't know, Bengali or something, or Pakistan or Arab. But these are white women or black women or, Latina women that you should know what you're getting yourself into. I understand when you marry a revert woman, she's in her early 20s, she might have had a past. Most likely she did. So don't try to make her Pakistani now. And then you find stuff and you're gonna and then you just use her for fun and then let her go. This is ridiculous. Okay, and a lot of brothers do that, sadly. Right? And the problem is with new Muslim sisters is that they get married too fast. They jump into the marriage right away. I'm not saying don't get married, but just because, sadly, again, there's no systems. Our dear imams, mashallah, they care a lot about the carpets in the masjid and the chandelier and joining hands with the LGBTQ, as opposed to establishing systems for premarital systems to help the new Muslim sisters, help them with to be a wali for them, for example, to vet the brothers, okay, to make sure that the guy doesn't just come and snap her. And this is the problem. They need help, they need support. Okay, Make sure you find a man who, okay, who understands who she is, understands the reality, and okay, he'll marry her for the right reasons. Because yes, some guys will use the girl and just drop her, and a lot of these women will leave Islam because of that. They will leave Islam because of that, and that is a big shame. May Allah guide our brothers in. And some of the so-called Muslim brothers, the bad boys, are gonna convert these sisters to Islam, have zina with them before Islam, and then when the sisters become more religious, they drop them. And how many it has happened where the sisters become more religious than them, and then the guy like decides to leave her because now she's too religious. Dude, you're a Muslim. What's wrong with you? Like, how do you think that you can just get a woman like that, convert her to Islam, do your thing with her, and then because now she found the truth of Islam, she becomes religious, now you push her away. Yani, what a shame. What a shame. A'udhu billah. But it's true. That's very, very true. All right, let's go back to the anonymous questions. Just received one a few seconds. What to do with a teenage son who is given off feminine gay vibes? The way he talks, sits, behaves. Be strict with him. Tell him to stop. I used to have a lot of students when I was teaching in Arabia. A lot of students were giving gay vibes. Guys would come with nail polish and so I would sit them down and have some hard talk with them. And yes, shaming sometimes is important. I would sit them down and talk to them like, bro, what are you doing? Right? I believe that parents make a lot of mistake in not being stricter on their children when their children start behaving like that. And you should pick this up from younger age when they're still in their formative stages and you can change them. Do not allow them. Put them in martial arts. Put them in boxing. Let them get beat up and see and feel. Oh, it's traumatic and this and that. Oh, yeah, you're going to cry more later. How many brothers and sisters I deal with personally in my counseling who have SSA, same-sex attraction? Ya Allah, I cannot even tell you. I feel bad for them. They're good people, but they're struggling. A lot of it is because of this. Because of problems in their youth age and their formative stages. Their parents didn't help them. Issues, trauma, abuse from family members, people that they trusted. Ya Allah, you guys cannot even imagine. Sometimes you don't even know. I don't even release some of this information because it's so evil. But alhamdulillah, at least these brothers and sisters, they come to us for help. They're not bad people who are like, yeah, LGBTQ. No. These are people who are fearing Allah and they're trying to change. Very different than someone who's like, LGBTQ. Weather is getting hot. Hot weather equals skin showing, body showing. Guys, remember to behave and lower your gaze. Wallahi, very good advice to all of us. It's very tough, man. The brothers know. Even the sisters are having a hard time. The sisters were messaging me like, man, seeing all these cleavages everywhere, it's changing the women. I've already made videos on that. So it's for both men and women. Okay? Now, a very good reminder. All right, let's continue. Take some of the here. The problem is that women are not raised to be obedient housewives because their feminist mothers push them away from. That's a very good point, Invincible. Because what happens is a lot of the mothers, even though they might have been good women themselves, society has convinced them that they failed as women. So she might have had a traditional marriage. Now she's got a daughter or two. And you know what she says to her daughter? I don't want you to be like me. What do you mean you don't want her to be like you? You're a stay-at-home woman, a good wife, a good mother, raised two good daughters. And now you're pushing your daughters to go out there and live a life that is different than yours. Because you consider yourself a loser. Because society has made you think you are a loser. To be ashamed of you and what you've done, the realizations that you made, which are amazing, by the way. This is the deception of today's world, guys. Girls, be careful. Yeah, they don't want to raise their daughters like, they were raised. They feel ashamed. No. Be proud of being a housewife. Be proud, oh, mothers, grandmothers, that you've raised daughters like that. And don't let your daughters go out and mess around. Let's get biryani tonight. Hey. All right, let's do biryani, bro. MashaAllah. Can I delay marriage to focus on my parents? It was done by many previous scholars and even done by Abu Huraira. No. Well, how many scholars have done it? Ibn Taymiyyah, Imam Nawawi, How many scholars? When you say many scholars, no, no. Take care of your parents and marry, because you might risk to fall into a big sin, and that can compromise even your parents. So no. Okay, anonymous here. My left knee hurts, clicking bones. Get it checked. Go do a CAT scan. Wear a brace. I've been wearing a brace. I had a knee surgery. If you can work on it and strengthen the muscle group around it, is better. Don't do surgery. I regret having surgery, to be honest. ACL and meniscus surgery. And there's even a dua. You can search a dua for when your body hurts. Inshallah. I don't know off the top of my head right now. Now, I appreciate the super chat, guys. Again, barakallahu fikum for all the support. All right. Let's take a few from the questions here. Should practicing man marry women who's generally good, but she would still be considered a project in the sense that he'll try to up her game in terms of religion? Yeah, I think that's okay. A man can, and that's his job, to up her game in terms of religion. Okay? But keep in mind, a woman who self-regulates is much better than a woman who always needs to be reminded. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ advised men to prioritize religion in a woman. Doesn't mean that she's religious and not so good looking. No, but in priority, he needs to focus on her religion. Right? Because self-regulating women are very, very good, as opposed to you having to always tell her what to do. But indeed, you can. It's not an issue. All right, let's go back to anonymous. How to vet a brother properly, both in terms of deen and behavior. What are the top questions? So I've done the master class for vetting. But bottom line, what I tell sisters, I'm just going to give you this one, is ask him. First of all, make sure you know the deen, that he's on the deen. Check about the masjid that he prays in, the imam that he prays behind, community. You can do this work. You need to do it. But I always tell sisters, what's the one question you should ask a man? Ask him about his mission in life. What is his mission in life? And if he doesn't know, he's wavering, he just talks about a job or something like that, I would say that's a big red flag. A man that's driven by a mission is a man that's focused and know what he wants. Therefore, he can lead you and help you and be a good husband. That's what I would say would be the most. But in the marriage vetting class, I've done a lot more on that, and you can check it out, inshallah. All right. How to send anonymous? So you go, brothers and sisters, you go to my Instagram. I'll show you guys. Okay. So you go to Instagram. Okay, this is my Instagram. And then you go to story. I don't know if I can see the story here. Or only the live. Oh, this is the live. How to send anonymous? So you go, brothers and sisters, that's not what I want. To my Instagram. Show you guys. How do I get out of that? Let's go out. Okay. Okay, so you would go to like the story, and let's see if I can do it in the story. Okay, yeah, this is a story. So I posted it. By the way, this is from yesterday, of the sister who sent me the message that she got pregnant in university, studying away from her family, and that she got blocked. Yeah. Oh yeah, for those brothers who want the summer shorts that cover the aura, the mu'minin shorts are there. Link in bio. And here's the right here. Okay, so you go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 story, and you see the you just click the link and you see the anonymous message. Okay. All right, modern Muslim man, shout out. Now, okay, so that's how you do it. All right, let's go to some more anonymous ones. Guys have to know that what women say and what women react to is completely different. 100%. They often slip up because of this. 100%. 100% true. There is just such a big difference between what a woman actually says she wants and what she feels. Huge, huge difference, okay? It's just the way it is, guys. I don't know. It's something that is in the female psychology. I have done a class on female psychology for brothers, and that is important. It's only for brothers. And I've done a class also for male psychology. It's only for women. And a lot of women have given very good feedback on that. You can see the link in the bio in my Instagram. So yeah, this is a very good point, that women are very different, that completely different. So men need to understand a little bit of female psychology when dealing with women. It's quite complicated, by the way. Like, women are quite complex. Okay, women are quite complex. MashaAllah, Brother Muhammad, Allah barik feek, Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah, on behalf of the people here, MashaAllah. I'm not sure where you're at, but may Allah bless the people where you're at. Ameen. Ameen, ameen. All right, let's go back to... And by the way, guys, it really supports and helps you guys hitting those super chats and supporting the dawah. It's really, really, and you don't understand how it helps in terms of us spending more time in this. All right, let's go back to Anonymous here. The questions that keep coming, because you see the red are the ones that are coming in new. Okay, the red ones. So it says a few seconds ago, can you call your husband by his name in Islam? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with calling him by his name. But it's also sometimes nicer when you give him like a little, nice name or like a nickname or something, but should be respectful, right? But you can call him by his name. It's not an issue. So the marriage vetting class is also for females. I thought it was only for men. No, it's for women as well. And there was women who participated, and it was actually a live class that I recorded and I placed it. I posted it. So there's women who were asking questions, and then we went through what women should look at. We went on what men should look at, what each other should, because you learn a lot as a woman from what a man expects. And you learn as a man from what a woman expects as well, right? So it's for both. It's for both. Now, can my wife call me boss? Brother Eric, yeah, it's all right. It's not a problem, man. Actually, some of the Arab women, they called their husband like Sayyidi, my man, my master, or Sultani, my sultan. Some women do that. Some Arab women are quite good at that, and the guys, they like it. Okay? Depends on the culture. Like Pakistani women would say like Jan, like love or something like that, or pyar, right? And Arab women would say hubbi or elbi, my heart, or something like that. I don't know. It's like English speaking people, man. It's like dude, man, bro. It's not good, wallah. Okay. Salam, Sheikh. I'm not a Sheikh. Barakallah fikum. How to stop using trauma as an excuse for everything. True. That is something that is too prevalent in the social media, so-called mental health, free coaching, whatever. Everyone's trauma, narcissism and trauma. These are the two things that are being abused, I would say. So no, just because you've had trauma doesn't excuse you from everything that you do. Okay? Now, Barakallah feek. All right. Barakallah feek again. Jazakallah khair. Another super chat. Alhamdulillah. I really appreciate it, subhanAllah. It's beautiful. Why do brothers wear so tight pant shirts that I heard it made it difficult for sister or gay men to lower their gaze? I'm not sure if MBJ is a woman or a man, but anyway, they're also passively, but they purposely are enticing non-Muslim women to pursue them. Yeah, true. I think men have to also be careful with the type of attire that they have, that it can cause people issues. No doubt, like actually it's a very good point that even men have responsibility to not wear things that are like too provoking or too revealing. Now, of course, the man's body and the woman's body is very different. A woman's body is much more sexual on many levels. But yeah, when it comes to like a man's certain part, that can also cause fitna for women and yeah, for gay men, 100%. So that's not right. Maybe the men are looking for attention as well. And this is something that we notice now with the phenomenon of social media, that more and more men are acting like women and looking for attention and so on. Isn't having a girlfriend haram? It is haram, 100%. 100%. All right, let's go. All right. Let's go to the anonymous. Salam akhi, I had an issue with porn. However, it's 95% dealt with, alhamdulillah, but the last 5% I'm really struggling as I'm 21, lower gaze, don't speak to single woman, non-mahram, but culturally too young for marriage with no job. Please make dua and help. May Allah make it easy for you. That 5% can destroy everything else, so be careful. Try. I know culturally this is the problem. A lot of people bring in culture, and culture destroys issues. SubhanAllah, sadly, culture destroys issues. Marriage causes so many problems. MBJ says, I am a straight female. Okay, alhamdulillah. Khair, alhamdulillah. So, I did see your name a few times, and Jazakallah khair, you've been supporting the chat so many times. I've seen that throughout my live broadcast, so I really appreciate. For some reason, I thought that you're a man, but you're a straight female. Barakallah fikum, Allah bless you. And indeed, you're right in what you said, and you usually put some very, very good comments on there. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Brother Eric, Barakallah fikum for the da'wah. Bismillah. Brother Eric, I think he's a Romanian brother, mashallah. Allahumma barik. One of our Romanian compatriots and paisanos. All right. Let's go back. Alhamdulillah, the questions are coming on the anonymous. And 20, boy, I think. Can I get married while I'm not stable enough? I'm dependent on my parents, but if another member joins our family, it doesn't matter in terms of sustenance, everything. As a man, I think it's easy if, inshallah, if the parents can help and bring another woman in the family. I really, really believe that is okay. And I advise parents, hey, make it easy for your sons. Open a room for your son and support him financially. Trust me, the food for 5 is going to be okay for 4, and the food for 4 is going to be okay for 3. The food for 3 for 4, and the food for 4 for 5 or 6 or 7. There's going to be barakah. Okay, there's going to be barakah. So, it's okay. Help your children to get married till they stand on their feet. Barakallah fikum. May Allah bless all of you. Jazakallah khair. What are your thoughts on marrying an older woman? It's okay. As long as she's good, you vet her the same way you marry a young one. It's okay. If she's good, she's a good woman, mashallah, she goes through the vetting process, it's all right. She might be better sometimes than a younger woman who's messed up in head. It depends, yeah. You have to vet them. You have to go through the whole problem. Especially when it comes to polygyny, right? If a man has, again, he's gotten his Aisha, he can get his Sauda. Think about it. When the Prophet married Aisha, radiallahu, he married Sauda at the same time, pretty much within days. Sauda and Aisha were married together. Quite older. Sauda was in her 60s, and Aisha was very, very young. Okay? So, alhamdulillah. Ameen. Have you tried Somali food? Oh, yeah, man. Of course. I have Jubba restaurant, bro, just down the street, man. Of course I do Somali. I grew up on Somali food, yeah. I grew up with Somalis and Pakistanis. I'm like Somali, man. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, definitely. Even before Islam, even before I was Muslim, Somalis were like my boys. If there was ever a fight, Wariya, Kale, come, let's go. The Wariyas were ready, man, all the time. And they always used to tell me, I think you're going to become Muslim. And mashallah, indeed, they were right. You know, I don't know if anyone in the world, wherever they are, but Mustafa, Abdul Ghani, Abdul Fattah, all these brothers, man. I miss them and I love them, you know. Definitely. And I love I grew up on university time, and that was type of food, bro. Chicken rice, mango juice, and banana. Boom. $5, man. You can't beat that. Chicken rice and banana, baby. $5. You cannot beat that. Trust me. 100%. No. All right, Sheikh Asim said in Virgin Arabic refers to a woman who hasn't been married before rather than one who committed zina. Do you agree? No, it's not correct because bikra, and again, Sheikh Asim is my very dear respected Sheikh and teacher and older brother and everything, yani. So no disrespect here. I have a long history with him. We've worked together on programs and Huda TV and Peace TV and Alhamdulillah. But I think maybe sometimes the clips are cut. So, but in Arabic, yani bikara, bikra is actually the hymen. It comes from the hymen. So muhsina, thayyiba could be a woman who's been married before. She lost her virginity, but she's muhsina. She didn't do anything haram. A woman who lost her virginity is not a bikra anymore. And actually, you can tell that from the fiqh of even mahr. Like, for example, a woman who is virgin, even the fiqh, sometimes some of the ulama have talked about that she gets even more mahr. If you look at the sunnah of the Prophet, a woman who's a virgin, the sunnah is to spend about 7 days with her. While a woman who's not a virgin, previously married, she basically is recommended to spend about 3 days with her. So virginity has specifically in Islam, bikra specifically is the hymen, is that thing, that is that gate, that closure, that she, so it's not like that. Actually in Arabic, if you look at that, bikra and bikara, there's a clear distinction between a woman committed zina, a woman who was married before and is not a virgin, and a woman who is a virgin. Okay? Now, all right. Bismillah. Yeah, it's a very important point. Look, you have to have respect. Unless people like really go out of there, to like cause problems and whatnot, then people will need to be addressed. But whoever it is, human beings are human beings. Myself have many mistakes. I made many mistakes. Sometimes I said stuff that maybe I should not. This is the reality. We're human beings, right? We follow the message of Allah. That's the most important thing. Not don't follow me, don't follow this, don't follow that. But we take knowledge from the people that are good in the Quran and Sunnah. Alhamdulillah, there's some brothers who are really good, doing a lot of good work, trying their best to stick to the Sunnah, as opposed to deviants who are just corrupting Islam. And we have no problem to refute them. Okay? So, shout out to the brothers who are really working and trying their best to stick to the Sunnah in a world where, it's hard. Now, all right. Let's go back to the inbox. MashaAllah, the questions are coming, as you can see in red. Those are coming in live. Brother, I think sisters need to be educated on polygyny. It could be very beneficial, but since it's not part of Western culture, a lot of sisters just reject it from the beginning. Many sisters reject it in the West, and many accept it. Many promote it, and many actually lean towards it. I've seen a lot of them are seeking it. Problem is that indeed there needs to be more education. I cannot do it. I've done the series on why polygyny is hard. I've done a series on polygyny. You can see it in my YouTube lists. I've done a lot on that. It's not easy. I believe the masjids should have programs to explain to the brothers and sisters what are the pros, the cons, issues, this, that. Support when sisters want to, when brothers want to. Okay, that's what I believe. I believe the masjids have to. Look, polygyny is going to happen. There's lawful polygyny, i.e. ta'addud in Islam, and there's unlawful polygyny, i.e. pornography, massage places, parlors, escorts, prostitutes, pornography, whatever. That's polygyny. It's illegal. It's haram, but it's going to happen. So better educate people about it and teach them what's the right thing, because it's still going to happen. Bottom line, it's still going to happen. Salam, I will meet brother or a girl I want to marry. I'm afraid if he's going to delay the marriage. Can you give me some tips? Be firm. Don't be afraid, and tell them that your intention is to marry now, not to delay marriage. You are very serious about getting married as soon as possible. Okay, I will address this question because someone is watching. There's this hater who's watching this broadcast today. He keeps sending this. I would like this person to come forward to see what it is. And he says, is ranting on women and simping to men like Uthman makes one a man? Are you a man, Romani? Yeah, I'm a man. If you're a man, then come forward and reveal yourself. I've been challenged by other people. Many people have criticized me openly. But you've been sending so many of these messages. So many. Every time. Anonymous. Renting on women. What am I renting on women? That I'm telling him to wear hijab? That I'm telling him to guard their chastity? That I'm telling them to not get pregnant? That I'm telling them to pray and to be good Muslim women and to fear Allah? That's what I'm renting on women. And simping on men like Uthman. What am I simping on Uthman like? What's wrong with Sheikh Uthman that I'm simping on him? If you got problems with him, go take it on with him, bro. You know where to find him. San Diego Mosque, man, right there. Go and talk to the guy, man. You know, I'm sure he can handle you. Are you a man, Romani? Well, I'm a man. If you're a man, Bismillah, come. I'll send you location. We can talk face to face. Then you can tell me what's your issue with me. I didn't do anything to you. Have I done anything to you? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know who you are. If I've done anything to you and you have some haqq upon me, come take it. No problem. I'll give it to you 100%. Okay? But if you're just being a little coward, a little boy, then please disappear. Or come and show yourself up and tell me in my face. Then we'll see what happens. No problem. Anytime. I can send you easily a location. You can come show up in one of my events that are happening, you know, and then you just reveal yourself. No problem. Okay? Easy. And that's the last time I'm addressing this person. Now. Okay. What is your potential? Is living in another country? Is that a problem? For example, on a marriage app like yours, how can we really vet him? You should reach the masjid. Ask him, which masjid do you go to? What imam? Give me the contact information. Let me talk to the imam. Simple. So you know who this person is. If the imam says, I don't know who this person is, he never comes to the masjid, he doesn't pray. Okay. Then, yeah, don't. Talk to the imam of the masjid. Simple way, sisters. Don't be shy. Get your father to do it. Email the imam. Get a response. Call them. Do you know Mr. Ahmed? He wants to marry me. What do you think about him? Does he pray Fajr in the masjid? Do you know anything about him? The imam will be like, who's Ahmed? I have no clue who this person is. Don't marry that guy, sister. Do not marry that guy. Okay? Now. All right. Bismillah. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakallah khair. We're going to stop in 5 minutes if anyone wants to ask more questions. Again, Jazakallah khair for the live, for the super chats. Super chats have been amazing. I really appreciate all the brothers, all the sisters who have sent super chats. It helps the dawah a lot, and it definitely we do a lot of good work with that. I don't want to mention again those who helped, but barakallahu fikum. And let us take a few more questions. Bismillah. Have you met any Baluch from Pakistan? Of course, many. I used to teach them. They were my students. Al-Baluchi, many of them from the Pakistan area, yes, and some from Iran. So, like Balochistan, the Baluchi people are like kind of split between Pakistan and Iran. Now, could you make a recommendation for an English Arabic Quran with tafsir for revert? I think the clear message is probably Dr. Mustafa Al-Khattab, I think, is a good one, inshallah. Is it true about Sheikh Uthman allegation? Why is my video has maybe the camera has gone a bit warm. Look, I don't know, okay? This Sheikh Uthman's issue, if he has any, this is between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People talk a lot of smack. People talk a lot of issues. People need to fear Allah, okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that if a fasiq comes to you, make sure it's true, what they say, okay? I don't get involved in people's businesses. One thing I know though, that when it comes to du'at, that there's a lot of people who try to take du'at down because they hate the work that they do. And if you look at even the Prophet ﷺ, till today, people are attacking his life, his personal life with his wives, his marriages, and so on, because they want to shoot down the messenger. Sheikh Uthman, Allah Yahfad, he's done a lot of amazing work, a lot of amazing work, okay? And people want to take him down, okay? People want to take him down. So, whatever, you know. Alhamdulillah, he's a man, he can answer for himself, I'm sure. And that's just the way it is. People should take it up with him. I'm not his daddy or something. Like, I don't know. People are attacking me and sending me weird questions and so on. Okay. Like, what am I? Like, I don't know. He's a real man. He's a man of himself. He knows how to deal himself, okay? Now, not a question but a comment. I'm a Reaver from the US who was raised by a single mother. A lot of women don't understand how hard it is to be hyper-independent and how it affects your marriage. 100%. 100%. May Allah protect you. This is a sister, I believe. Okay. Would you recommend marrying a girl I was in love with for 8 years, but then stopped talking to stay away from haram? She is still unmarried and waiting for me and not getting married after 2 years. In love for 8 years, talk to her for 8 years. Maybe it's caused problems as well. I don't know, Akhi. It's a bit tough one, right? Because I don't know what you guys have done. To what level did you go? If she's a good woman, you know, but the question is, why would she talk to you? Why would she go to that level? Okay, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's like a red flag. At the same time, okay, maybe you're in love with her and she's been waiting for you. I would say if both of you can come and do some counseling with me and I can question you some things, then maybe we can get a better, I can give a better answer, inshallah. All right, again, Jazakallah khair for the help, the super chats. I appreciate all the support. Okay, may Allah bless you and protect you. May Allah protect you. Just two more questions, inshallah, and then we're gonna start. We're gonna stop. Female 20, how do I explain to my parents that it's more wise to get married first rather than to pursue career? They focus on being independent, finding a job. See, women want this. The women want to get married. People, they attack us for making these videos. Women want to get married. You have to explain to them. You have to have, you know, imagine if all the imams speak about this. Imagine if all the people talk about this, raise awareness. Parents would change their perspective. And sometimes as a daughter, you're going to go to your father and your father's not going to believe you. Your mother's going to tell you, shut up, maybe slap you. Like, it's important for someone of authority to convince them. And you yourself can show them some of the videos, some of the stuff that we're doing. Very important. This is a very important issue, guys. Assalamu alaikum. I'm a high school student in UAE and they're teaching us that gender roles and hijab are bad and that women need to be masculine and empowered. That is horrible. I was part of the UAE education system for 10 years. I saw what's been happening and what the Western influence and ideology is trying to do to the Emirati people. Sadly, they've succeeded on many levels. That is very, very hard and very difficult. May Allah help, because how? It's a Muslim country, man. It's a Muslim country. How can they say hijab is bad? Women need to be masculine and empowered. A'udhu billah. Women need to be women. That's it. And men need to be men. The world would be a better place. Barakallahu fikum and Jazakallah khair for all your help and support. Okay, link to book sessions with me. You can see it in the link in the bio in my actual YouTube and in my Instagram. But this is the link here. Okay, simplybook.it, alromani.simplybook. If you even check my name or Positive Islamic Psychology in Google, you'll find it, inshallah, for those who want to book counseling with me. Alhamdulillah, we have affordable counseling. We have a good team. And even for those who cannot afford it, we have some free counseling, inshallah. Okay, barakallahu feekum. May Allah bless you, protect you, and help all of you. And Jazakallah. A lot of comments. Did you visit Kerala? Yes, I visited Kerala for sure. Malabar. I've been there like 3 times. Love it. All right, brothers and sisters, Jazakallah, because I can keep going. May Allah bless all of you. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We'll see you inshallah next time.